actual facts.
No,
right?
I'm giving
so
you actual facts
we can
based on
fantasize,
extensive
say, well, maybe they
research
just
that's
don't
been done.
feel good. But that's not the case. I mean, I went to university. I did not feel good, right? I didn't pull the best grades in high school, probably got into a better university than I should have gotten into based on my performance in high school. It wasn't because of my feelings. It's because I wasn't focused on it. And that...
I read, see in the media, talk to people about. This is a topic that almost everyone feels strongly about one way or the other. I want to hear what the audience has to say. Yes, sir, in the back.
Yeah, if you're white, someone can discriminate against you, but there's no systemic basis to it.
But if it's becoming part of the university admission process, if it's determining hiring practices, dismissal practices in industry, is that not systemic?
You could nitpick and find little instances on both sides. But I think if you look at it as a whole, then you begin to understand where it's coming from.
Who else has a comment?
What does that mean? When you look at it as a whole, then you begin to know where it's coming from. He did not explain anything in that sentence. All he did really was deflect the actual question that Dr. Phil was asking him. That's why I'm like confused. Like, what are you talking about?
Comment. Yes, sir, in the back.
My name is Dan, and I think it's great that you try to fix some of the inequities that have happened in the past, but I don't think it should jump to the front of the line when you're going to college or you're trying to get a job. I think it's important that we address it very early on, where a lot of the major issues are happening in the families of some of the ones that are maybe disadvantaged, or if they're having trouble in school, it started at the elementary school level, where once they get to the admissions process or get to a job interview, it's based on your merit.
Candace, are we compromising standards?
Yes.
If we do that, because we haven't fixed the problem down the line?
That's correct. It is the policies are harmful also to the people that they purport to help, and we have all of the evidence there to look at. When you artificially place a Black American into a school in which they do not belong based on their knowledge, doesn't mean that they go on to get A's. In fact, there was a Black adjunct professor, you guys have definitely heard of him, Dr. Thomas Sowell, who was teaching at Cornell University, and he found that the majority of the Black American students that were there were on academic probation. Now, these students were some of the smartest in the nation, but because they were artificially placed amongst their peers at Cornell University, they were failing on academic probation. These policies have never helped Black Americans. It's just basically policies that are put in place to make people feel good, right? I feel like I'm doing something when in fact I'm actually creating harm. You either know the answers or you don't.
When you say, hey, we have Black students at a particular school who aren't performing at that school as well, the immediate assumption that you're making is, well, maybe it's because they're not smart enough, they're not good enough, or they don't belong here. Whereas it could be about the experience that they're having at that institution. Professors who believe that they're not intelligent enough, that they don't have the capability to do the work, that they see them as criminals, deviants, dangerous, up to no good, or they talk about them with the they statements. They're lazy. They don't care. They don't really belong here. They're only here for the financial aid.
I'm giving you actual facts.
No,
right?
I'm giving you
can,
actual facts based on extensive
say, well, maybe they
research
just
that's
don't
been
feel
done.
good. But that's not the case. I mean, I went to university. I did not feel good, right? I didn't pull the best grades in high school, probably got into a better university than I should have gotten into based on my performance in high school. It wasn't because of my feelings. It's because I wasn't focused on it. And that, we're talking about a cultural problem, what's going on back at home, as was in my circumstance. And none of that is because of institutionalized policy. It almost seems like you guys refuse to accept that, Black students aren't performing well. You feel like you have to have this burden of responsibility when, in fact, if you actually wanted to help, you would look at the facts, re-examine the fact that it's not helping anybody. It's not helping Black Americans to artificially place them into universities, and you'd make effective change.
But you're making the assumption that Black students are academically inferior, and they're not.
No,
they're
you
some
are
of our most
actually.
brilliant students that we have.
Basic.
When did she say that? When did Candace say that Black students are academically inferior? Or where did she even give that indication in her explanation? Because I didn't get that from what she just explained. That's because obviously she didn't say that. Obviously, that's not what she was saying. You get what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, just like she's about to say, that was what he was saying. You get what I'm saying? But you see how he's trying to like deflect it. You get what I'm saying? But I want to see how. I mean, this video is almost over. This is like a small clip, but I just want to see What's she gonna say?
That you are making the assumption that they are inferior.
You
It
just
is
said
why
that they
you
don't
want
belong there.
policies. I'm talking about the students that are based on the policies that you are defending right now, saying that we should have these policies that let them into these universities, not based on their skill set, but based on the color of their skin. So you are assuming that they are inferior.
Do you have a story or a question?
Yeah, that's true. That's facts. If you are allowing black kids to go to a college, right, just because they're black, and because they're black, you kind of like look down on them a little bit, and you kind of feel bad for them. So you're kind of looking at them with the sense of, oh, he's black, I feel bad for him, so let me just let him into college. Let me give him a fighting chance, right? Because of the color of his skin. You're not giving him a fighting chance because of his skills and his knowledge and his merit, like Candace said, and what he can actually contribute and bring to the university. You're not giving him a chance because of that. You're giving him a chance because he's black. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when it becomes offensive. Because it's like it's as if you're pitying him. You're pitying him because he's black, and you don't want him to feel left out, so you let him attend the university because he's black. And I think the point that Candace was trying to make, or making, was that we shouldn't let or allow black kids to go to a university or to attend certain schools just because of pity, and we feel bad for them. No, we should allow them to attend the universities based on their skills and their knowledge and what they can contribute to the universities. And in that point, I agree, because I don't want nobody feeling bad for me because I'm black. I'm human just like everybody else. You shouldn't feel bad for me because my skin color is different from yours. That doesn't make any sense. Not only is it racist and offensive, but we're all human beings at the end of the day, and we are all capable and intelligent enough to acquire skills and to become better versions of ourselves, regardless of the color of our skin. So, and for some of you that may not be up to par of what they were discussing, they were basically discussing affirmative action. And basically what affirmative action is pretty much what I just said earlier. It's basically when the school systems are basically determining whether a certain race of people are allowed to attend or able to get accepted to a university or college, right? Based off their ethnic background or based off the color of their skin. So an example of affirmative action would be, Jacob over there is black, right? And then we got Mike over here who's white. Jacob that's black, we feel bad for him because he's black. He probably comes from a single parent household. He doesn't have a father in the home, etc., right? So we're going to give him a fighting chance because he's black. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want him to feel left out with due to his white peers. You get what I'm saying? But that's offensive. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think these people understand or realize, and I'm talking about the people that work in these school systems and stuff like that. I don't think they realize how offensive and mean that is to the black kid. You feel me? Because in their minds they think they're helping the black kid, but when in reality they're not really helping him. They're giving him a handout. They're kind of like giving him an easy way out. They're giving him a handout. You feel me? And instead of bringing him into the school because of what he can contribute, damn, I can't talk. Instead of bringing him to the school based off his knowledge and skills, you'd rather bring him into the school because of the color of his skin and his ethnic background. And that I don't agree with. I don't want you accepting me because I'm African American. You know what? Let me stop saying African American. I don't even like that term. Let me say Black American. I'm Black American. Let me just say that, right? I want you to accept me into the university because of my knowledge and skills. I don't want you to accept me because I'm black. Y'all don't see how offensive that is? You get what I'm saying? But they obviously don't see it because they're the ones that put it into place. They think affirmative action is helping black folks when in reality it's not helping them. It's basically putting them in worse situations than that they shouldn't have been put in. You know what I'm saying? It's actually making things worse for them in the long term. You feel me? And initially, it may seem like a good idea, but the long-term effects will soon start to show themselves and bring to light. And then you basically what's going to happen is the result is going to be you're going to have a bunch of black people that are not prepared for the real world, and they're going to be struggling a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want that. So that's why affirmative action is not necessarily a good idea. You know? Well, at least to me, it's not. But yeah, man, I think this was a great video to react to. It really just goes to show you the state that the school systems are in right now. The school system has always been messed up, though, which is the crazy part about it. The school system has always been bad, but it just seems like as time goes on, the school system just continues to get worse and worse, and it just continues to deteriorate worse and worse. And because of that, you're ending up with more kids dropping out of college. You're ending up with more kids who barely even know how to read or write. You know what I'm saying? And it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I even have some friends that, you know, not knocking on them or anything or making fun of them. It's actually sad. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making fun of them. It's sad. You know, I actually have friends or even old friends who don't know how to read. You know, it's unfortunate, but it really goes to show you that these public school systems, they're not really educating our kids like they should be. You know what I'm saying? Or they're not doing a good enough job. That's pretty much apparent because you're getting a lot of dumb people in this world. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, it's sad. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video, man. This was a good video to react to. And I'll see y'all in the next video, man. I'm out.